Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I am here to share with you my favorite go-to makeup brushes. I feel like every time I do my makeup, despite the plethora of makeup brushes that I have, these are the ones that I continuously grab because I know they work. I know, like, I'm used to using them. I know how to use them, and I know the results that I'll get with them. So although I do like to occasionally grab a random other brush and try it and use it and play with it, these are the ones that I find myself continuously going back to. And spoiler alert, a lot of them are Real Techniques brushes. I just realized like most of them are, but I feel like Real Techniques makes very good makeup brushes for a fairly reasonable price. Like, they're not the cheapest brushes that you can get, but they are very good quality. They're gonna last you a while, and they're also not the most expensive ones that you can get. So, okay, so I'm gonna try and roughly go with like how I would do my makeup. So when I do my foundation, I typically buff it into the skin with a foundation brush, and then I go over it with a sponge to kind of smooth out any brush strokes or harshness, just kind of smooth everything out. I feel like that's what works for me. I feel like anytime I just use a brush, I get like streak marks no matter what brush I use. I've used several different foundation brushes, but I always seem to get like streak marks or unevenness. But whenever I just use a sponge, I don't get the coverage that I'm looking for. So using the brush helps me get the coverage that I want, and then the sponge helps me get the finish that I want, like the smoothness, you know what I mean? So I have two foundation brushes, and I use these interchangeably. They're very similar. I don't even know if they're not the same brush. They're both Real Techniques brushes. I think that these might both be limited edition ones. However, I think they're just limited edition packaging, so you can get the brush in a different like color or something like that. So this one is the Expert Face Brush. I'm not sure if this one is limited edition or like special edition or anything, but I know that this one is. And it has like a little S at the bottom. I don't know if that means anything. Maybe that means special edition. Maybe it does. Does this one have a little S? This one has a V on it. What does V mean? I know that this one is part of their core line. Like, they have this one all the time. So, I don't know. Anyway, I use these two. So this is the Techniques by Sam and Nick Expert Face Brush. And then this is the Real Techniques Buffing Brush. And as you can see, they are very similar. They're just slightly different shapes. Like, this is just kind of like pinched a little more. It's a little bit more oval at the base, and this one is just round. And this one's just, maybe this one's like slightly denser, but they are just basically the same brush. And I use both of these as a foundation brush, the exact same. I just grab whichever one I see first, really. And then the sponge that I use most often, I really like the Real Techniques sponge, but not the original sponge. The original orange sponge, I've like used and felt other people's, and they feel really nice and bouncy like this one. But the one I have doesn't do that. Like, it doesn't grow that much. It doesn't get as squishy and bouncy as this. I feel like the one I have must have been a dud or something. I probably should just toss it out and get a new one. I need to toss this one out and get a new one anyway. Like, I have tried to wash this and it's just so janky. However, okay, no, that doesn't look right. However, this thing is so good. I don't know if this was like a limited edition one. Look at me just showing you things you can't get, sorry. This one, I don't know if it's any different than the original one. Maybe this one's just not a dud, but this is one of the like glitter ones that they came out with. I think you can still get these on the Real Techniques website or something like that. I'm pretty sure you can still find these. But they're the Real Techniques sponges that have like the glitter. They were the colored ones. They had like 3 different shades of pink for Valentine's Day or something last year, I think, or maybe the year before. I'm not super sure, but this is really good. And I really love it. So this is the sponge that I use most of the time. I do have a sponge that my husband got me from Daiso in Japan, that is really nice, but I don't know what it's called. All I know is he got it in Japan. I think he got it at Daiso, but I'm not 100% sure. I grabbed this one more anyway, so this is the Real Technique sponge, but one of the ones with like the glitter in it, but the glitter doesn't come off. And the more you use it, the less you're able to see the glitter. So now it kind of just looks like the original, but it's not. Like if you hold, no, that's just gross. You guys don't want to see that. No, no, no. Okay, moving along. I have been using cream blush lately. I've used it a few times lately. I'm not a big fan of cream products when it comes to like blush, bronzer, highlight. I don't know, maybe it's because I haven't played with them very much, but I just like the ease of powder products. But I have been using some lipsticks as some lipsticks as cream blushes because I am trying to pan them and they do not work as lipsticks for me. So, but they do work as cream blushes. So I have been using 2 different types of brushes for that. I have this Real Techniques by Sam and Nick Expert. This says Expert Face Brush as well. Why is this? And this one doesn't have a letter at the bottom. I don't know what's happening here. Maybe that's just like who makes Real Tech. I literally don't know. Are those the people who created Real Techniques? Probably, and I'm just looking like an idiot. But I'm pretty sure these came in a set together. But this is the Expert Face Brush. Is that what this is? This is called the Expert Face Brush. These are different though. I'm so confused. These are both called Expert Face Brush, but these are definitely different brushes. I don't know. I use the small one in the like metallic orange barrel. And it's just like a dense, small, dense ovular brush. And I use this when I want cream blush that is like more pigmented. It's pretty dense. So when I want it to like really show, I use this. Or if I'm going to be putting on cream blush like under foundation, I'll use this. If I'm going to be putting it over foundation or I want it to be lighter, I use this stippling brush, which is called the stippling brush. And I find that I do kind of have to, like, this is just, it's very, very, very light, which is what a stippling brush is. But I find that when I am using this for cream blush, I do kind of have to go over the same area a few times, but it is helpful if I'm trying to like build up to the color that I want or the intensity that I want, instead of just going like right away with intensity, you know what I mean? So that's for cream blush. For powder blush, I use the same brush every time. And again, this is a Real Techniques brush. For some reason I cannot say that. This is the blush brush, and that's what it's called. Can you see it? Is it gonna show you? It's just called blush brush. This is such a good blush brush. Honestly, the best one I've ever tried. The shape is literally perfect. It's like an egg shape. You see? Like it's an egg shape. So if I want to cover a large area, I would use it on its side. And if I want to kind of just target a smaller area, like the apples of my cheeks, or just put a little blush on the like bridge of my nose, I just use the tip of it, and it's just so perfect. So perfect. So that's what I use for powder blush and blush toppers. I just go in with the same brush. For bronzer, I have a couple brushes that I use for bronzer, but this is the one that I've been using the most lately. This is a Makeup Revolution brush, and this is the F105, and it's just a like fluffy, you know, like angled brush that lets you like really get in there. So I mean, this is really nice. This picks up a lot of product, and It is like, it's very fluffy and soft, so it makes it very easy to diffuse your bronzer and everything. And it's just like, it's big enough to really get all this area, but then it's small enough to do your forehead too without getting it over your entire forehead, which is a problem that I have because I have a 3 head. So it's kind of difficult. So this one is just like the perfect size to kind of get bronzer around the hairline. It's so good. So good. This Makeup Revolution brush is just so good. This brush, I freaking love this brush. This is my powder brush. This is what I set my face with. I also do finishing powders with this. And I guess I'm kind of not going in order, am I then? Change of plans, not going in order. But I use this to diffuse out blush and bronzer if it's a little too pigmented or a little too harsh. This is so soft. So soft and just, ugh, it feels so nice. The problem with this brush is that I don't know what brand it is or what the brush is called. All I know is that it was made in China. This brush, and I have a couple more from this collection that I got. This brush, I bought in a set of brushes from Walmart. And every year around Christmas time, the time's kind of past now, but you might be able to find some like in the clearance section or something at Walmart. But in the like area near the front of the store of Walmart where they put all of the like makeup sets and everything that you can buy, the like gifting area at the front of the store in Walmart during Christmas time, they always have brush sets. The brush sets that they have there, the ones that are about $20 for a big rectangle, so dang good. I got this set, I want to say like 2 or 3 years ago, something like that, and it's literally holding up perfectly. I've never had a single stray hair come out of one of these brushes, and I've had stray hairs come out of my like more expensive brushes. Funny thing, most of my brushes are really affordable. I do have some IT Cosmetics brushes. Those are my most expensive ones. I almost never reach for those, which is really sad. I should probably use those more, but I almost never reach for those. And I feel, I don't know, my other brushes are just so good that it's just like, I don't know, but this is so good. So if you see those $20 packs, like large rectangular packs, they usually come with like a little kind of, usually not like the cutest makeup bags. Some of them are kind of like just glittery and sparkly. Some of them are kind of like weird and rainbowy, but those packs, the brushes are so good. And most of those packs usually have like a little, tiny little sample of the fibers that you can feel that are hanging off the box, so you can feel how soft they are. 100% worth it. Yes. This year I noticed that they had, sorry I'm rambling a lot, but I'm trying to make sure that you know which ones to get. This year at Walmart, I got a set for my sister for Christmas. She needed some brushes and they're so good, so I got her one. But they also had some smaller sets that were like $5 for like 5 brushes or something like that. Those are not the same. They're not the same. And they're not as good. So the $20 boxes that come with like a whole line, that's the one to get. Anywho, I have another brush that is from that set that I got, the Walmart makeup brush set, and I use this one to set under my eyes, and I use it to set my T-zone because in the summer and kind of in the winter sometimes too, I do get a little bit shiny, not really oily, just something about makeup, wearing makeup kind of makes me a little bit shiny in my T-zone. So I do use this to set under my eyes, set my T-zone, and set my eyelids because I use concealer as eyeshadow primer, so I set that and I use this for that. So it's perfect. the perfect little shape. You see the little shape. Okay, the last face brush I have is this. This is the Ulta Beauty Blush Brush. I think I got this in a set of like, it was like a Ulta makeup set, and it came with like eyeshadow, blush, lip products, and then a few brushes. The brushes are deceivingly good. I never would have thought that these brushes would be good, but like when you touch them, they are very soft. But they're very unassuming looking. Like when you look at them, they're like miniature, and I don't know. In my mind, I kind of assumed that they wouldn't be great, but I kept them around anyway. And there was one brush in the set that changed my mind and kind of made me rethink trying this, because I hadn't even tried it and I just assumed like that's a bad thing to do, don't do that. So I tried this, and I tried it for highlight. This is an incredible highlight brush. Like what? If you're the kind of person that likes to kind of create like an inner glow, and you just like to put like kind of like a bunch just right here and just kind of diffuse it out, this is great for that. But also, it's not super rounded. It's a little bit rounded, but it's not super rounded. So you can still use the edges and get a more like precise application of highlight. And this distributes the highlight so beautifully, like so beautifully. I have I think it is one of my, why is my cat scratching my wall right now? Like that's the question I cannot answer. I'm sorry if you could hear that. But I'm pretty sure it was one of my It Cosmetics brushes. I'm not sure. I can't actually find it right now. There was another brush that I used for highlight. For some reason I like larger brushes for highlight. But I think I lost it and I can't find it. But I've been using this one anyway, and it's just so good. So this is the Ulta Beauty Blush Brush. I haven't used it for blush before, so I don't know. But for highlight, it's good. It's so good. Okay, those are all of my face brushes. Now I'm going to get into my favorite go-to eye brushes. Now the first one is this Big Papa right here, and see how big this is? It's like big and fluffy. This is the e.l.f. Flawless Concealer Brush. I don't use this for concealer. I don't use brushes for concealer. I blend my concealer out with a sponge. So this is a concealer brush, but I use this to lay down like a light wash of like transitional color, but I put it over most of my eye, and this just like gets it on there real quick. So that's what I use this for, and I really like it. It gets my like base color down super fast. You can use it to set your eyeshadow primer if you want. I don't, because I already set that when I set my under eye concealer. So I just use this to put like a wash of color on all over my lid. Works perfectly. The next brush I have is another one of these Walmart brushes, and this one I use for a multitude of things. It is kind of just like a long fluffy crease brush, and I use this to put color into my crease. I use it to put like lighter colors underneath my eye and like diffuse them under my eye. I use this to like blend colors together. I use this for everything. But this is so good. It's so good. It's so good. I have this Profusion brush, and I don't know what the name of it is. It came in one of my Profusion eyeshadow palettes, and it's one of the dual-ended ones. And I use this end, and it's pretty similar to this one, but it is just a little bit more pointed and precise at the tip. So when I want something a little bit more precise, I will go in with this brush. I have makeup all over my hand. I totally forgot to take this off my hand when I started filming. And now I have liquid lipstick all over my watch. We're just so professional here. Don't you love it? All right, so I'm sorry. I have swatches all over my hand, but you know, that's life. Okay, I'm not even gonna worry about it, just apologies. The next brush I have is this Real Techniques brush. This is the base shadow brush, and I really like this one for packing color into the outer corner of my eye. So what I'll do a lot of the times is I feel like I can get a better blend when I put my lid shade all over my lid, including on the outer corner. And then if I want to deepen it up, I'll take the color that I'm using, and instead of putting it on the tip of this brush, you can kind of see it's like tapers down the sides a little bit, and it tapers down one side more than the other. I don't know if you can tell that, but it kind of like it's more angled on this side a little bit. So I will take the more angled side and I will put the shadow on the side of the brush, and I will like pack it onto the outer corner and then kind of like do small light circular motions to blend it. And I feel like for me personally, that gives me a much better blend and transition into my lid shade and my outer corner shade when I do that. So I love using this for deepening the outer corner. Perfect. Next, I have this Wet n Wild brush. I have two of these Wet n Wild brushes. They don't have names, but they're just the ones in the white barrels. They're Wet n Wild, and they're just like the flat shader brushes. And these, when you feel the bristles, they don't feel like they would be that great for picking up product. Like, you feel them and you're just like, I don't know if that's going to be great for like matte eyeshadows or whatever. However, I got these at the Dollar Tree. They always have these at the Dollar Tree. These are so good. What I use these for is shimmer eyeshadow and foiled eyeshadow. If you have a shimmer or foiled eyeshadow that refuses to go onto the lid with other eyeshadow brushes that you have, and you have to use your finger in order to get any payoff, use these. These will pick up the color and they will distribute it, and they work really well with wetting and if you want like a more intense foiled look. So good. So anytime I am putting shimmer or metallic eyeshadow or foiled eyeshadow on the lid, I use these. So good. I can't even express enough how good these are for $1. Like, $1. I feel like this is just like a passion of mine, is finding incredible products that only cost $1. Okay, I have 4 more brushes. So 3 of them are Real Techniques brushes. I told you like most of these are Real Techniques brushes. This one is the brow highlighting brush. This is the, oh, this is another brow highlighting brush. Interesting. And the precision smudge brush. So these are both supposed to be the same brush, which they're not exactly the same. Obviously, like, they have a different color because they're from different collections, I think. But as you can see, one of these is just pointier than the other. I don't know if that's just like by chance or what, but yeah, I use these to put color on my lower lash line. I pretty much use both of these for the same thing. I didn't even realize they were the same brush, so it was pointless for me to bring both of them out, but that's what I use those for, because they are slanted and a little bit like more precise at the tip. So if I want to kind of like do lighter colors and do more of it, I can do like the flatter, more angled side, and I can do that. And then when I want to get more precise close to the lash line, I can use the pointy tip and do that, and I only need 1 brush. This precise or precision smudge brush, this is a very tiny little brush. Sometimes I will use this to put things on the lower lash line, but most of the time when I use this, I use it as an inner corner highlight brush. which it's perfect for that. However, I have another brush that I use for inner corner highlight and like highlighting my brow bone that is so good. And that is the Ulta Beauty crease brush. I'm not sure why they call this a crease brush, because it is, in my opinion, not a great shape and density for putting color in the crease. I wouldn't recommend it for that. However, placing eyeshadow on the inner corner, this is literally perfect for that. That's what they should market this as, because it's so good. This is the Ulta Beauty brush that changed my mind on trying the other one for highlight, because I couldn't find another brush in my collection. Like, I had other ones, I couldn't find one day when I was doing makeup, and I used this for inner corner highlight and I was literally blown away. I have, other than like grabbing this a couple times randomly when I just can't seem to figure out where this one is, I'll use this one. However, this is my number one choice, and it's just so good. Literally so good. This just, it deposits, I don't know what it is. It's something about the bristles. It just, both of these just deposit shimmer so beautifully. I can't handle it. I just can't. So yeah, those are all of my favorite brushes, and to be honest, I could probably get rid of most of my other brushes and only keep these and be perfectly fine, but my soul just won't let me do that, so I'm not going to. And currently I don't feel the need to, because I have room to store all of these. So I'm going to keep them all right now. I should probably do a makeup brush declutter eventually, but I'm not gonna do it right now. But I will try to link as many of these in the description box as I can. I hope this video wasn't too long. I probably rambled a lot, which is just, you know, what I do. But yeah, so I'm gonna try and link most of these in the description box. Whatever I can find, I'll link it. But those are all of my favorite eyeshadow. No, not just eyeshadow. Those are all of my favorite makeup brushes, and I love them. If you guys have any of these brushes and they're your favorites, let me know in the description box down below so we can be nerdy and gush over makeup brushes together. Also, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you haven't already if you'd like to see more videos from me. And that's gonna be it for this one. Yeah, I'm gonna go now. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.